The trip back and the couple days since we last talked, John Michael?
It was a rough trip back. Obviously, we went up there. We didn't play as well we wanted to, but we had a day off, some time to regroup, and we're gonna get back at it in practice today and just keep the same process going and getting better.
Do you guys pay attention at all what's happening to the teams before you play them? For instance, Kansas got beat up, so you kind of know they're going to regroup. Now you got K-State, they've lost 3 in a row. Or do you not just block that out and say, hey, it's not about them, it's about us?
Well, now obviously you see it. It's hard to really block it out because you got to pay attention to your opponents. And we knew that Iowa State played Kansas well, and we knew that they probably were really getting after it in practice. Getting ready for us. And kudos to them for executing their plans. But even with Kansas State, we've seen that where they lost a couple games in a row, so we know they're going to try and come in here and try and get their rhythm back. So we just have to make sure we stop them from doing that.
Brandon, you're going up against Hunter Dickinson in Lawrence. I mean, what's that like as a kid, who was in high school last year, going up against grown men? Is that a unique challenge?
Yeah. He been in college for a while, so just me playing against him, I'm always grateful. And then also, at the end of the day, I can learn from him being older and in college more. I can learn and change my game. But, every time I'm going against him, I'm trying to challenge him, play him hard, and stop him from whatever he's trying to do.
When you scored the first 7 points Tuesday night, did he say anything? Or did anybody say anything, even your teammates?
Yeah, my team just telling me keep going, but as me and him running back down the court, he just telling me how I got a bright future and just little things like that.
As you're running down the court?
Yeah.
What do you respond? What do you say?
I just say appreciate it and things like that.
I got a good line for you. The future's now, buddy. That'd be good. That'd be kind of cocky.
Yeah.
John Michael, obviously, like Brian mentioned, we're going to find out from Coach what Bryce's status is. But looking back at the time after he was out the other night, how does his absence affect things with the guards?
Yeah, he's a very impactful player. So when we didn't have him, obviously it was noticeable. He's one of our lead guards on the team, one of the leaders on his team. So not having that 15 points per game in conference play, it took a big chunk out of our offense. But as Coach tells us all the time, next man up. You got to step up when your name is called upon. So that's the stage we're at right now. We don't really know yet what his condition is, but no matter what, guys got to continue to step up and just be ready to play. But it was a big notice that he wasn't out there.
Brandon, you played the fourth most amount of minutes out of Big 12 freshmen this year. When you got to college basketball, what was the biggest eye-opening thing that you're like, hey, I got to get better at this right away? And what is something that you think you've come the farthest in?
I ain't gonna lie, when I first got here, I started off slow. I don't feel like the coaches had trust in me, but I just kept my head down and kept working. And then the work started to pay off, and as the games went by, I just kept up with it, and I'm kind of getting used to the flow and the physical stuff in the game. So
from a technical standpoint, what's the most difficult? Is ball screen coverages? What's kind of
yeah, just ball screen coverage, and I let my man get behind me, just little things like that.
When you're going up against a Hunter Dickinson, can you tell that he's using his experience as an advantage?
Yeah, most definitely, because he's knowing when to do his little duck ins, when to set the screens, just all the little things he's knowing what to do on time and yeah.
Is it exciting that you're gonna get more experience, that you're gonna get to that level at some point?
Yeah. I say it is.
When you talk about the starting slow, was it more mentally catching up to the game at a higher level, or the speed of the game around you? What was it?
I'll say mentally and speed, just the game overall. I just had to get used to it. Just coming in out of high school and college is 2 different games, I'll say.
You had a couple of 20-point games and some other double-digit games since the start of conference. Offensively, or what do you think has been working for you last 6, 7, 8 games? And if you just feel more comfortable on that end since when you got here?
Yeah, I'll say more comfortable and just doing my job, screening, rolling, and running the floor, getting open. That's how I get my points.
John Mike, what have you seen from the young guys? How far? I guess they've all probably grown in different areas, but what's something that you've seen progress throughout the year with this group?
Just all their confidence levels. like you guys said, he's one of the fourth leading minutes of freshmen. So, and Eric Daddy plays a lot. Connor Dow is now in the starting lineup, so they don't have time to wait. And so, just seeing them progress and not be afraid and take on the challenge of the Big 12 is probably what I've seen the most. And credit to BG. BG has gotten a lot better since he's first gotten here and just gotten a lot stronger and comfortable in his game. And we trust him in that post, in that mid-post area. And but I'm proud of all the freshmen. They all keep progressing, and we just got to keep this train moving and just keep adding to the team.
You guys just had Q last year as a freshman. What's it like being on a team with this many young guys?
Yeah, well, it's difficult at times because a lot of them really don't know what to expect. But 20 games in now, they're not freshmen anymore, honestly. So I mean, at the beginning it was a process. With Q last year was easy because he was the only one, and you had nothing but upperclassmen that were already here previous years. But now when you got 5 freshmen and they all playing, it's a different monster. It's a different animal. You got to be more in tune with the details, and us older guys got to do a lot more showing them what to expect and what's to come. But 20 games in now, they pretty much know what to do. They know what to expect, and they had that experience under their belt.
K-State was a game that got away from you guys in Manhattan. Did that leave losing's never fun in any capacity, but did that game in particular leave a bad taste in you guys' mouth, you think, with how it went down?
Yeah, it did, because we worked so hard throughout that whole game, and we pretty much led all the way up until the last 4 minutes, and they had got a run. But we watched the film and we saw what we did wrong, and we know when we get back in that situation again, we got to finish that. But it does suck because you want to get that win on your belt, especially in an away game on their house. But we just got to defend our house tomorrow, or Saturday, when they come in, and we'll see what happens.
For both of you, now that you did get that West Virginia win, you closed it strong, especially. Does that kind of roll over the confidence to be able to, when you're in that situation again, to be able to finish?
Yeah. I'll say just getting that first win. I ain't never had a Big 12 win, but it gave me like confidence in my team, and I just like the faces we had after the game in the locker room, all the coaches. So just trying to get more wins under our belt, I feel like can help us.
Brandon, you had to know the Big 12 was going to be tough going into this league. Has it lived up to that expectation?
Yeah, most definitely. I'll say it's the toughest league. I ain't playing the other ones, but just me playing it, I'll say it's a pretty tough league to play in.
I mean, when you're a high schooler and you're deciding what conference you're going to play in, why was the Big 12 a challenge you wanted to embrace?
Just playing like the best conference, everybody say, playing against the best talent in the whole nation, I'll say. So that was part of my choice of playing in the Big 12.
And Michael I was watching Connor Dow guard KJ Adams in Lawrence. Has Connor gotten better defensively?
Yeah, he's always been a good defender in my eyes, and even in the eyes of the coaches. Connor, he's a well-rounded player. He's a lot smarter than people think he is, and he's really an athlete as well. And he's been tremendous for us, especially as of late, being able to accept his new role. But yeah, Connor is a talent. I think he has a bright future in this program. He has a lot more to show, that he has, and I think the time will come where he'll be able to express his abilities more often. But he keeps working daily. He keeps his head down. He loves to grind, and yeah, he has a bright future.
Jerry said this last week, but he hadn't been able to get going lately from 3. Now, obviously, he does a lot of other things for the team. But where do you kind of tell a young guy in that scenario where shots aren't falling, but he's still playing elsewhere?
Just gotta keep shooting. Keep trusting the work you put in. That's what the coaches tell us. You work out every day, and you've seen the ball go in 1,000,000 times. So it's going to eventually make its way inside that basket. You just got to trust it.
Brandon, when you're especially down on the blocks, you seem pretty comfortable going right or left in terms of your shooting hand.
Yeah.
Is that something that's always been part of your game, something you had to develop? Where'd that come from?
I'll say it's always been part of my game. I feel like I can use both hands in the post, so just me having it helped me in my years of playing basketball, I'll say.